Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. So before started, make sure to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe this channel. In this video, we talk about 20 celebrities who surprised their fans. 1. Frank Sinatra in Who's the Boss. Frank played himself in a 1989 episode of Who's the Boss called Party Double. In real life, one of the show's stars, Tony Danza, is a dedicated fan of the late legendary singer. In 2017, Tony posted a throwback photo on Twitter of himself, his family members, and his co-stars on set with Frank. 2. Taylor Swift in New Girl. Taylor's New Girl cameo as a character named Elaine was a dream come true for the show's creator, Liz Meriwether. In a 2013 interview with Entertainment Weekly, Liz called herself a huge fan of the singer-songwriter. She then opened up about her nerves over being introduced to Taylor, who she said nailed it when she arrived on set. "I was fully geeking out about meeting Taylor," Liz said. "I didn't go to meet her right away because I kind of had to compose myself. There's a 14-year-old girl inside of me." 3. Bob Hope in The Golden Girls. Bob appeared as himself in an episode of The Golden Girls in which Rose, Betty White, believes the comedian is her birth father. In real life, Betty was friends with Bob and personally asked him to be on the show after the creator of the series, Susan Harris, asked her to do so. 4. The Beach Boys in Full House. Beach Boys members Al Jardine, Carl Wilson, Mike Love, Brian Wilson, and Bruce Johnston were featured in the 1988 Full House episode, Beach Boy Bingo. Mike said in an awesome '98 interview from 2016 that John Stamos is a longtime fan of the music group, and John and the band have been friends since the early '80s. In 2022, Al told Fox News that John asked them to be on the show, and thanks to that episode, a whole new audience discovered the Beach Boys. 5. Ed Sheeran in Game of Thrones. One reason why Ed played a Lannister soldier in Season 7 of Game of Thrones is because a star of the show, Maisie Williams, is an avid listener of his music. Game of Thrones co-creator David Benioff said he and his crew members had this cameo role in mind for a while before they were able to bring the musician on the series. 6. Olivia Newton-John in Glee. In 2010, it was announced by News that Olivia would be appearing in Glee's second season. During her time on the musical series, Olivia sang a duet of her 80s hit, Physical, with Jane Lynch as Sue Sylvester. Jane told she is a huge fan of Olivia's work and was thrilled to collaborate with the iconic performer. "I'm so excited I can't see straight," Jane said. "Olivia provided the soundtrack for my tortured adolescence." 7. Christian Slater in The Office. When John Krasinski directed an episode of The Office in Season 6 called Sabre, he reached out to Christian Slater's agent and asked if the Heather star would want to make a cameo appearance. Christian agreed and played himself in a Sabre video that was presented to Dunder Mifflin employees. In May 2022, John opened up about how much it meant to him to work with Christian, whose work he's enjoyed since his childhood years. "One of the greatest memories for me in directing this episode was directing that industrial video for Sabre. I mean, just being on set with Christian Slater was a pretty big highlight of my career," John said, via the Office Ladies Podcast 8. Jess McCartney in The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Sweet Life characters London Brenda Song and Maddie, Ashley Tisdale, fangled over Jesse when he was visiting the Tipton Hotel in a 2005 episode of the Disney Channel show. Brenda revealed in 2022 that in real life, she and Ashley were also major fans of the singer-songwriter. 9. Michelle Obama in Blackish. Michelle did a guest spot for the Season 8 premiere of Blackish in 2022, playing herself as she encounters Jar, Anthony Anderson, and beau, Tracy Ellis Ross, at a fundraiser and visits their home for dinner. In a 2022 interview with WSJ Magazine, Tracy said she asked Michelle, whom she is close with in real life, to appear in the show alongside her. 10. Jonathan Taylor Thomas in Last Man Standing, 15 years after his last appearance, alongside his longtime TV co-star Tim Allen in Home Improvement. Jonathan acted in 4 episodes of Tim's sitcom, Last Man Standing. The former teen heartthrob had been shadowing the director of Last Man Standing when he was asked to perform in the series. After Jonathan said yes to the request, Tim was shocked because he's just shy, Tim said to Yahoo TV in 2013. 11. Lin-Manuel Miranda in Curb Your Enthusiasm. Lin was in 2 2017 Curb Your Enthusiasm episodes, during which he gains artistic control over the fictional musical created by Larry David, Fatwa, and some conflict ensues between the two characters. When an executive producer of the show, Jeff Schaffer, discussed Lin's cameo, he explained that there is a mutual admiration of each other's work between Lin and Larry. Larry is a huge fan of Lin's, and Lin, luckily, is a huge fan of Larry's, Jeff told The Hollywood Reporter in 2017. 12. Dolly Parton in Hannah Montana. Dolly, who is Miley Cyrus' godmother and close with Miley in real life, also played the We Can't Stop singer's godmother in Hannah Montana. This role was created after a request was made by Millie, Dolly told Vanity Fair in 2020. Miley told them, "I want my Aunt Dolly on here," Dolly said. "So they wrote me in the show, and we just worked so great together, and I was on a few times. Thanks to her, I had a whole new following of people that were turned on to me. These young little kids that were her fans and kids that were fans of just the whole show," Dolly added. 13. Leonardo DiCaprio in Saturday Night Live. During Jonah Hill's 2014 Saturday Night Live monologue, his friend and Wolf of Wall Street co-star Leonardo DiCaprio emerged and made his first ever Saturday Night Live appearance. The two recreated the famous Titanic pose, and Leo got to show off his humorous side on the sketch comedy series. "I thought, Leo's never hosted SNL. He's never been on the SNL stage. And I was like, you know, you're so funny, and people don't get to see how funny you are," Jonah said of the cameo on the Ellen DeGeneres Show in 2014. "He's such a funny guy." 14. Keith Hernandez in Seinfeld. Former New York Mets player Keith Hernandez was in a 1992 Seinfeld episode, which was later released as a 2-parter for syndication. During the episode, Keith briefly dated Elaine, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, while Kramer, Michael Richards, and Newman, Wayne Knight, claimed the ex-athlete had spit on them when Newman heckled Keith after a past Mets loss. In 2017, Keith told media personality Colin Cowherd he was approached to appear in the 90s sitcom because Jerry Seinfeld is a big fan of his. 15. Tupac in A Different World. In 1993, Tupac did a cameo part as Piccolo, an ex-boyfriend of Lena James, Jada Pinkett Smith, in A Different World. Tupac and Jada were very close friends in real life ever since they went to high school together. Jada spoke about the late rapper's guest role with Entertainment Weekly in 2018 and said she and Tupac were always trying to look for opportunities to work together. 16. RuPaul in Broad City. RuPaul guest starred as Marcel, the boss at a restaurant where Ilana, the Lana Glazer, worked in 3 2017 Broad City episodes. Ilana, who was both a co-creator and star of the comedy series alongside Abby Jacobson, told Entertainment Weekly in September 2017 that RuPaul was so funny and flamboyant and so alive in the part. In addition, Ilana had voiced a love for the RuPaul's Drag Race host in an interview a couple months prior. Somehow, RuPaul made a reality show that's empowering and anarchist and punk, authentically punk. Ilana said of RuPaul's Drag Race in a July 2017 Vanity Fair article, Jane the Virgin Family. 18. David Bowie in Extras. David was featured in Ricky Gervais' comedy series Extras back in 2006. In the cameo role, David wrote a less than flattering song about Ricky's character, Andy Millman, called Little Fat Man. The year the episode aired, Ricky explained the significance of David's cameo, saying that the late singer-songwriter had a strong impact on him for decades. "He's a hero, and I feel obliged to admit how important he has been to me," Ricky said of David to The Telegraph. "Apart from Muhammad Ali, there hasn't been anyone else who has come close as an icon. I've been a fan for about 35 years, and now a friend for a couple." 19. Bob Dylan in Jarma and Greg. The illustrious singer-songwriter was in the final scene of a Season 3 episode of Jarma and Greg. For the guest spot, Bob jammed out with band members, as well as Jarma Jenna Elfman, who was auditioning to join his group. Bob took on the guest role after a friend of his, who was a writer of the series, Eddie Gorodetsky, asked him to be on the show. 20. Novak in the Mindy Project. BJ was for a time an executive producer of the Mindy Project, which was created by and starred his office Costa and real-life close friend Mindy Kaling. He also guest-starred on the show as Jamie, a character who dated Mindy, but had a close bond with a female friend that complicated the romance. This storyline sought inspiration from BJ and Mindy's friendship off-screen. I don't know that it's a direct analogy, but it's definitely inspired by our relationship, BG said to Entertainment Weekly in 2013 of the plot surrounding his and Mindy's characters. Please subscribe this channel